Before the arrival of European powers, Africa was a tapestry of thriving cultures, rich traditions, and complex societies. The continent was home to powerful empires and diverse communities, each contributing to a mosaic of human achievement. In the late 19th century, European nations set their sights on Africa, driven by a quest for resources, strategic advantage, and imperial glory. What followed was a profound transformation. Today we explore one in specific. From the upper parts of ancient Egypt, filled with myths, to the deeper parts of the Congo forest, filled with rebellious souls, down to the Zulu kingdom and South Africa, who shed blood for their country. Today we explore one in specific. Kenya, a land of breathtaking beauty and rich cultural heritage, faced profound transformations during the colonial period. From the late 19th century to the mid-20th century, this East African nation experienced significant upheaval as European powers imposed their rule over its vibrant societies. Long before European explorers set foot on its soil, Kenya was a tapestry of rich cultures and ancient civilizations. The earliest evidence of human life in Kenya dates back over 2 million years. This land was home to early humans who left behind a legacy of innovation and adaptation. The archaeological sites in the Rift Valley, such as Kubifora and Olorgesailie, provide glimpses into the lives of early hominins. As time progressed, Kenya's diverse ethnic groups began to form complex societies. The 19th century marked the beginning of a new era. European explorers and traders began to arrive, driven by the quest for new trade routes and colonial expansion. Pioneers like Johann Ludwig Krapf and Richard Burton mapped Kenya's vast territories, encountering its diverse peoples and cultures. In the late 1800s, the scramble for Africa intensified, and Kenya caught the attention of European powers. In 1895, the British East Africa Protectorate was established, heralding the start of a profound transformation for Kenya. Resistance to colonial rule was fierce and persistent. From the early days of British control, Kenyans mounted various forms of resistance, culminating in a series of significant uprisings and political movements. At the Berlin Conference of 1884-85, European powers divided Africa amongst themselves with little regard for the indigenous populations. Kenya, rich in resources and strategic value, was soon incorporated into the British Empire. The arrival of colonial powers disrupted the lives of Kenya's diverse ethnic groups. Lands were expropriated, and traditional ways of life were challenged. The British imposed new administrative structures and economic systems that often disregarded local customs. Colonial policies favored European settlers, who were given large tracts of fertile land. The local populations were forced into labor on these plantations, facing harsh conditions and exploitation. The Mau Mau Uprising, beginning in the 1950s, was a pivotal moment in Kenya's quest for independence. It was characterized by both armed resistance and widespread protests against the injustices of colonial rule. The Mau Mau rebellion was led predominantly by the Kikuyu ethnic group, who faced severe land alienation and political disenfranchisement. The movement was initially clandestine, rooted in a mix of traditional beliefs and political activism. As tensions escalated, the Mau Mau began a full-scale insurgency against British colonial forces and African loyalists. Guerrilla warfare and acts of sabotage became common as the rebels sought to reclaim their land and autonomy. Despite the heavy-handed tactics of the colonial government, the Mau Mau rebellion set the stage for eventual political change. The intense struggle highlighted the unsustainable nature of colonial rule, leading to negotiations and the eventual release of key leaders like Jomo Kenyatta. The British response was swift and brutal. A state of emergency was declared, leading to widespread repression, including the establishment of detention camps where thousands were imprisoned without trial. The British military and police sought to crush the rebellion through force. Years of struggle led to the capture of its leaders, including Dedan Kimathi and a few of other leaders, thrusting the country into a new era. After years of struggle, Kenya gained independence on December 12, 1963. The new nation faced the immense task of rebuilding and reconciling a society deeply scarred by colonial exploitation.
Kwa wananchi ambao hawasikii maneno ya Kiingereza, mimi nataka kuambia kwamba hii ni siku ya furaha katika moyo wangu au katika maisha yangu, na mimi nafikiri kila mwananchi anaishangilia siku hii kama ni siku ya muhimu katika maisha yetu zote. Yale ambayo yanafanyika leo ni yale ambayo sisi kila moja tulikuwa tunangojea. Kila wakati tunasema uhuru, mimi nafikiri kila moja alijua tunasema nini. Na kwa wingi wenu vile mnakuja leo, dunia imejua kwamba sisi watu wa Kenya tulikuwa na kiu zaidi ya uhuru wetu. Mnajua ndugu zanguni, pale tukisherehekea hii siku ya muhimu sana, jueni kwamba tuna watu wengi wetu ambao wao wana magonjwa, ambao wao wana umasikini mwingi. Na kwa hivyo ndugu zanguni, mimi nawaambia ni lazima tufanye kazi sisi zote pamoja, tuweze kupigana na umasikini ambao uko katika nchi hii yetu, tupate kupigana na magonjwa ambao yanawalemea watu wetu kila bahari, tupate kupigana na ukosefu wa elimu ambao unawalemea wananchi kila pahali. Kwa hivyo ndugu zanguni, mimi nawaomba kila mmoja wenu akumbuke neno moja, kwamba kama sisi tunaingia katika uhuru wetu, tunaingia kufanya kazi ya muhimu, kufanya kazi kwa nguvu, kufanya kazi kwa bidii, ndipo tupate kufanya nchi yetu nchi yenye mali, nchi yenye utulivu. Na tukifanya hivyo, ndugu zanguni, kila pahali ulimwenguni tutaheshimiwa. Kwa hivyo leo si siku ya maneno mingi au si siku ya kutoboa. Leo ni siku ya sadaka.
The transition to independence was a monumental achievement, but the legacy of colonialism left deep-seated challenges. The new government grappled with issues of land distribution, economic inequality, and political stability. Kenya had recently gained independence from British colonial rule, and the nation was grappling with the challenges of self-governance. The political landscape was charged with tensions and divisions. The early years of independence were marked by both hope and uncertainty. The government, led by President Jomo Kenyatta, faced internal dissent and challenges to its authority. On January 24, 1969, a tragic turn of events occurred. A protest rally organized by Odinga's supporters in Kisumu turned violent. The situation escalated rapidly, and the police responded with brutal force. The Kisumu massacre resulted in the deaths of dozens of people and left many more injured. The government's response was widely criticized, and the incident deepened the divisions within the country.
The massacre was a dark moment in Kenya's history. It highlighted the tensions between the government and the opposition, and it had a lasting impact on Kenyan politics and society.
Mzee, because Jaramogi and the other guys like Bill Kagia, for instance, plus a guy by the name J.D. Kala, all these are dead. They were very strong supporters of land being distributed to the citizen. And Jomo, after becoming the president, did not actually live to the promises they had made to the people. Foreign forces, which did not like Jaramogi, because they thought Jaramogi was too leftist. The head of the VOA in Nairobi once told me at a party, he said, we in America, we don't like that guy, Jaramogi. He's left-leaning.
With Jaramogi now out of KANU, he formed his own party, the Kenya People's Union, KPU. Its party color was green, symbolizing fresh beginning. But as fate would have it, the relationship between Kenyatta and Jaramogi would take a nosedive in 1969. It is the year that put the relationship between Kenya's founding fathers. On a cold July 5th, 1969, a youthful and influential politician from South Nyanza, Tom Mboya, was assassinated in Nairobi. A horrendous incident that heightened the now simmering political rivalry between the Luo and Kikuyu communities. His assassination opened a new chapter.
The death of Mboya is critical because it tended then to unite, to bring together those who are loyal or claim to be loyal to Tom Mboya and those who claim to be loyal to Jaramogi. These have been rivals all along.
Mboya's killing sparked tension. Tension that gripped the country for days, weeks and months. His requiem was and perhaps remains the most memorable in the country's history. At the Holy Family Basilica, the venue.
Today, Kenya stands as a symbol of resilience and progress. However, the shadows of colonialism continue to influence various aspects of Kenyan life, from economic disparities to political dynamics. Understanding Kenya's colonial past is crucial for addressing its present challenges and shaping its future. The legacies of colonialism are woven into the fabric of Kenyan society, impacting everything from land ownership to cultural identity. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Kenya's history. May it inspire a deeper appreciation for the resilience and vibrancy of its people.